So basically, Subspace and Medkit are working on science experiment stuff together and whatnot. They randomly discover these strange crystals. These crystals seem to be able to work as energy sources and enhancers, but depending on the crystal, can work a little differently. Subspace and Medkit have a disagreement on these very powerful crystals, however. I mean, really, these are really powerful crystals. It could make the difference between a faction's rise or fall. This goes into headcanon territory, but I believe Subspace would want to use the crystals to make BlackRock's military more powerful, and Medkit would want to use the crystals to improve BlackRock's healthcare. But BlackRock being BlackRock would go on to show favoritism to Subspace. This would result in the two arguing and even almost killing each other. Yikes. Medkit loses an eye, Subspace also loses an eye, and gains a chronic disease/infection thingy. Medkit flees from BlackRock since he's basically considered an attempted murderer. Yikes. This is the reason he'll eventually go to Lost Temple. I am unsure if he moves into Crossroads before or after the faction swap, but I feel like it was after he went to Lost Temple and joined a cult. Do note that before Medkit joins True Eye, Katana leaves, since I'm pretty sure Medkit doesn't know that Katana used to be a member. Katana would live in an apartment found in Crossroads and would also travel the Inferno and learn different things from different mentors. So anyway, now Subspace is sort of revived, at least he's not, bleeding out anymore. Furthermore, he gets funded by BlackRock to continue his experimentation, which now may or may not be unethical experimentation on innocent Infernals from other factions who did not consent to getting experimented on. Who said what? He would eventually create biographs, service machines for BlackRock's government that carry out different tasks depending on their models. Zeta biographs in particular would go on to replace almost every single BlackRock soldier, minus Hyperlaser, because apparently he's just better than everyone. And Medkit would, of course, go on to work for the Church of the True Eye. I didn't stutter, you're imagining things, shut up. Meanwhile, people were kinda doing their own things. Not sure where it is on the timeline, but Rocket, who is from Playground, would get kicked out and almost die, blowing up his arm and leg. Jeez, why is there so much death in Phighting? What the freak? Wow, gee, really? I'm so surprised that the game about fighting is literally full of violence. That's so wild. Who would have ever guessed? That's so crazy. Wow, just freaking yeah. And getting taken in by Zuka, who would raise him in Crossroads. At some point, Sword was born and quickly adopted. At some point, Sword was born and quickly adopted and taken to Crossroads by Venomshank. Due to personal lore reasons, Zuka knows many, if not all, of the Sword's members as well, and would become closer friends with Venomshank to a degree. And the two's kids would become friends as well, because I guess if the parents know each other, the kids know each other. It makes sense, sure. At one point, Sword would run into Medkit in the middle of getting pretty roughed up, likely from a fight. Medkit would heal Sword, and the two would become what is basically sworn brothers in arms. Because of this friendship, Medkit would meet Rocket, and the two would become close friends as well. And Medkit would even make Rocket's prosthetics. Hey, you remember Katana? Well, he and Hyperlaser just ran into each other in a bar, and now they're trauma drinking buddies. How nice. What's that? You don't know who Hyperlaser is? Well, he's only the guy from BlackRock who was name-dropped from before, known for his exceptional mercenary work to the point that he's one of, if not the only people who haven't gotten replaced by biographs. He also works with Subspace sometimes whenever Subspace or BlackRock request it, though the two don't really like each other. Another B-plot going on, or is it a C-plot? Actually, I think it's a D-plot. Well anyway, Slingshot, Shuriken, and Vinestaff move to Crossroads and start up their cafe, which gets very popular. Skateboard is a new friend, but is also Slingshot's first customer, and thus their bond grows at rapid speed. Speaking of Skateboard, he's about to get thrown into something he was not expecting, because suddenly, a little kid named Coil would end up stealing a good handful of Subspace's precious crystals. How he does this isn't really said. Some say he broke in, some say he may have actually been one of Subspace's experiments. That last one is my personal headcanon, that he used the crystals to escape Subspace. To escape Subspace, yeah. Whatever, I'm gonna keep going. He's now on the run from the law and runs into, skateboard. I'm gonna redo that. He's now on the run from the law, but runs into, skateboard. Skateboard offers to help him out and take him into hiding within playground so those pesky tinhead biographs don't do anything painful. Do something painful. Why did I write that like that? Why did I do that? Why am I like this? So those pesky tinhead biographs don't do something painful. Why did I write it like that? Oh my god. Now they're pals, and Coil's probably plotting some crazy kind of rebellion against Blackrock to stop them from starting a quickly approaching and also inevitable attempt at a complete and utter dictatorship. Dictatorship. I can say that word. Congratulations, you know Phighting!